Internet is a little bit slow and your life. Very good evening. Welcome back to my channel. This is Royal Bangalore Food and your host, Paul. Today, we're going to keep it very simple and futuristic to talk about it. It's called the top three Gen Z food business ideas. Did it sunk in? I mean, it's still not for me because I made the content and made the title about it, and it's quite fathom that to understand that what's going to be the next future trend. I would not say a trend, but this is going to go really viral, and is going to create a lot of businesses around this particular segment. I've made 30 of them, but I'm going to pick and choose only three, which is going to be the talk of the town and probably in coming years. And that's where I'm going to relate to. I'm going to step in that particular shoes by launching my own vegan products. I would tag that vegan for a vegan oldie like me, I mean, so to speak. I'm just 41, 42 to be more precise. Yeah. And, uh, you know, does Gen Z really look at it in terms of the food? How religiously they follow food trends? How sustainability do they really follow? What kind of food habits? I mean, does it really ring a bell for a lot of people? If it is yes, just go ahead and hit that content section and leave in your fantastic comments. I would have a look at it, and it really makes me boost to go and talk about it, because something which is weird to hear, can we really talk about it by using an AI to understand? I mean, I somewhere recently read in the US that there was a coffee joint. You walk in and you just tell the AI, just like a vending machine in Japan, this is what I wanted, and it would create coffee within 1.5 minutes. Within 1.5 minute, you get your coffee ready and you're good to go with it. So that's the greatest thing that you can ever do. AI leveraging your recipe management system. I also spoke about this in my earlier videos as well. It's very clear. I mean, it's just that you have to input what recipe you need. I mean, it eliminates the whole human interference out here. It's a machine talking to an AI bot, and then the agent, I would say, and then it would recreate the coffee, anyways, roasted and kept based on the flavors that you inputted, and it would just make that coffee within 1.5 minute and give it away. So your customers coming in within less than 2 minutes, it's churning out an order. So within span of in 60 minutes, in 1 hour, you would have close to 60 odd customers. You would do 200 rupees, even if it is there per order, or per, let's say, even 100 rupees for the matter of fact. Eventually you will end up having close to 20 customers, and then 20 into 100 is around 2000, and 8 hours is around, I don't know, that's only selling coffee. It really worthwhile, I don't know. So let's take a look at it. The top three Gen Z, or so-called the millennials, food trends is going to really catch up and talk about it as something dear and near to me. I really need to vouch out, but I don't know how people are going to take this point of view. But in my point of view, uh, the top three Gen Z food business ideas is going to stay. Talk about a few keywords in terms of sustainability, no food wastage, AI-driven healthy meal plan systems. Probably, looking at a lot of smoothies, a lot of sugar, a lot of glucose coming in. I mean, that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be grab on the go. It's going to be as quickly as possible. It's going to be quick kind of a meal that you can bite. Probably they might not look at it three types of meal. They might look at it intermittent meals. For every 2 hours they would just grab and eat and go. And because whenever you eat something, you might not have aware of this. Probably, your watch might tell you this is the calorie that you consume, and you're due for this for next course of meal. So it's a greatest asset. Futures looks really bright, specifically when it comes to the food aspects of it. So I'm in the privilege of being understanding to sustainability food products. I'm not sure yet, because India, anyways, it's a country wherein we literally waste a lot of food, because in our plate it's thali is what we need, and the nobody measures. Mom always dollops the ghee and butter, so we need to come in constraint. So the question for a lot of Gen Z is that, do you really look at it in terms of what is going to come in the future with AI driven meals? If it is yes, please put it in your comments, because that makes a great asset and content for me to create and research and develop, and also speak in many platforms as such. So here am I. So let's take a look at it. The first point, without wasting further ado, let's dive in. All right, the first thing that I want to talk about is today is about plant-based and vegan foods. Okay, today as we speak, many people are aware in the the see predominantly we all get to go to US. The entire history, the culture has been demanded over there, and then it comes here. It's been also fakely marketed in terms of many product is concerned. For example, there was a huge trend of olive oil. Then you had rapeseed oil. Then you had your your canola oil. Now it's predominantly a virgin coconut oil, right? So whatever it's said and done there, it dwells down probably after a year and then becomes a greatest product to talk about it. So I would not blame US, but US is also controlling the plant-based and vegan culture there, and slowly and steadily, and also rapidly growing market even in India. Because for the matter of fact, we have Shakari, we have so many brands which has come up in the matter of fact within quick span of time, and they're all leveraging plant-based food. So Gen Z, more social conscious, more of the not wasting food, understanding how you can leverage and save your cattle, because we have already spoiled, our generation have spoiled the entire the food chain production activity as such. But looking at the Gen Z, I think they're more aware of what's going to happen, how they're going to leverage, look at it food in terms of utilizing plant-based as more as a commodity, not by hampering a lot of cattle or using or any kind of meat rather. I think it's increasingly looking at way to reduce your food and environmental impact, because this current generation moving forward always conscious about climate, because they are the ones who are going to lead and succeed. We are already sweating. The entire Europe is sweating. The seasons have gone very erratic. It's going to really hamper in terms of the food culture is concerned, because today India has literally stopped rice exports. The reason why is the future of stocking those products. Not only that, even in terms of onions is concerned, in terms of few vegetables is concerned, oil is predominantly being also imported well for the food consuming. So there is kind of a huge see problems that we see foresee rather in the future, in the coming years as such. So I think Gen Z is somewhere value add by embracing and having this entire quality system of plant based and vegan foods. And plant based and vegan foods are the great way to do this, to solve all this climatic change and environmental impact. To make sure that I'm not the right guy to speak in terms of how it's going to impact environmentally, because for me, the food chain, the reason that cattle do survive, because it's not that we have to eat it. You should find a way to go ahead and control them in terms of production size, right? You look at goat or a sheep, it actually literally bears more than uh, 5 or 6 babies at a time. Similarly, with pigs, is around 12 to 14. Cows is predominantly around 5 to 6. So you need to control that. I don't know what are the other means of standards that could control it. But again, if somebody who's listening on food scientists or food technology can actually value add in giving me those answers. But becoming popular in plant-based food is going to be the newest ever trend that you're going to see from the Gen Z aspect of it. Moving on from 2023 until 25 and beyond that is when the first Gen Z people will actually go on create a lot of value adds in milkshakes and smoothies, plant-based snacks, probably looking at whole lot of system butter, your entire cheese, your entire dairy products will get converted into plant-based food. So is it really going to be health benefits as such? Because I wouldn't know the amount of preservatives and additives will get involved, and we never know what's going to be the future in terms of the health related aspects. The intensity of consuming carbs, your nutrition, your dietitian, will it really help? See, India predominantly always been a vegetarian country, as a country on its own from quite a while, from centuries and centuries ago. But then the plant-based diet is going to value add to it. We're going to literally create means. I see a lot of Instagram influencers abroad in US and in European countries. They literally use every ingredient from one particular street of district of every state and create a menu and show, hey, you know what, this is a plant-based, the Indian food that can be embraced and created as a global cuisine. So it's a great talk of the town. I think this is going to be the greatest asset that people can actually leverage and create a business idea over it. So it's going to be plant-based and vegan foods. Okay, so let me give you small insights about it, right? Uh, Gen Z are going to be really busy people. Most of them are going to be in the entrepreneur level. Most of them are trying to get businesses. They're going to be really working and slogging the day off. So it's going to be women and men. Predominantly, it's going to be women. So you're going to see a lot of men diving into this particular segment of creating restaurants, creating foods for the families. It's going to be a completely nucleus family here on. We've been hearing this from last 5 years or so, how women have actually pivoted in terms of the corporate work culture as such. So we're going to see a whole lot of that, and also in increasing numbers of such. So we're going to see plant-based diet kicking really value adding in terms of the Gen Z is concerned. It's going to be three things that you have to solve. One is it has to be really delicious. It has to be really small portion and content, fresh as possible, and also at the same time having great nutrition and health benefits, value adding to this plant-based food. I think that's how Gen Z will consume its food. Predominantly not that price conscious. Even if it is price conscious, they would know, because it takes a while for a lab grown meat as well, right? It's going to take a while people to get adapt to that, and then the pricing will come to picture. So overall, it's going to be a demand and supply game. But overall, I would say that plant-based and vegan food is going to be the way up in terms of first point out there that we need to leverage for the Gen Z as a business idea. Okay. Second thing is that it's about sustainability and ethical eating. Now, what I mean by that is also about the ethics of food they eat, specifically Gen Z. Are they looking at to go ahead and locally get sourced? It's going to be farm to fork kind of thing, farm to table, or is it really going to grow as a vertical farming at your home? So these are the things that will value add by sustaining is what they meant by that. Because today, if you see a lot of corporates, including the home farming, the vertical farming, the hydroponics, the aquaponics, have grown leaps and bounces. So you're going to see loads of plant-based food, and in terms of the aquaponic, the hydroponic plants, which just creates the exotic foods and fruits and vegetables have been created by using this methodology by aggravating or agricultural using standard steps and steps by using fish, and your precisely a water based solution is going to be the greatest asset for a lot of people to leverage. And Gen Z would actually eventually end up going to the terrace, or probably even at home, do a lot of vertical farming and consume that as a sustainable model, because that's going to be, they want to literally see what kind of food is being made in front of them, and they would be absolutely sustainably and ethically watching what the diet food they're going to eat. So I think that's going to be the future. I think we're already seeing the leaps and bounds in few cities. It's going to go, because thanks to the climatic changes happening, my dear folks, I think we need to plant a lot of trees. Even if you plant a lot of trees, it's not enough. The amount of rapidization of the entire industrial aspect is still consuming. And India, being an economical, thriving economy, we're going to see a whole lot of manufacturing businesses is going to come down and subside in many of the metros, tier twos and tier threes. It will really impact the climatic changes. So I think, I don't know. So I'm going to see a lot of dark areas, the dark matter out there. But the positivity is always about sustainability, ethical eating. I think the Gen Z is going to be more health conscious. They're going to locally get sourced. They're going to produce a lot of self farming. Keep that in mind. Make sure that food is always sourced from a local sustainable farms. They're going to do that, and making sure the food is produced using environmentally friendly practices. Simple as that, as probably as possible. They might be health conscious, because they might also let go in terms of the taste factor is concerned, and making sure that it's always been taken care. Like, how do you put it across? You become yourself farmer, or you become yourself sustainable to go out and produce yourself and eat those food all the time. So which means that you will have less of wastage. You'll have less of reproducing the same food again and again. It's going to be the talk of the town. And as I said, it's going to be sustainable and ethical eating for the next generation. Z is coming forward, who's going to really value the amount of food they're going to get it. I mean, our generation from 80s till now, they're not. I mean, I would say, since I've ran an industrial catering, I know the amount of food gets wasted. Oof, my goodness gracious. It's going to be really, really hampering our environment. Anyways, so the third important thing is going to be about functional food and beverages. What I mean by that, let me read it out. Functional foods and beverages are foods and drinks that offer health benefits beyond basic nutrition. They're becoming increasingly popular with Gen Z consumers who are looking to ways improve their overall health and well-being. by using functional foods. What is functional foods? Are the ones I just said is grab on the go, like sushi, probably getting into the avocado sandwich, using a plant-based sausage to create this functional foods, and also the beverages by using soya milk and almond milk or coconut milk, creating a lot of milkshakes, a lot of smoothies, a lot of health-based diet drinks. Be it for your fitness regimes, be it for your keep you up and running, the energy. So yoga bar, or so-called the energy bar, will get actually converted into smoothies. And in terms of sustainable beverages, probably in the future you'll see a lot of ginger ale, you see kombucha is coming up. We'll see a lot of plant-based wine being created, plant-based liquor being created. That'll be the future trend. So the functional food and beverage is going to be the greatest asset for the for the generation Z. That's it. So I think the overall the marketplace is going to be all towards your social media, right? So if the social media can leverage, you yourself can become social influencer and promote such kind of products coming on in the beverage. I'm really excited to see the beverages aspect of it, since I spoke about the plant-based wine. See, wine itself is great. There's no two ways about it. But instead of using yeast, instead of using a fermentation, there might be another source of coming in, probably by using, no, I wouldn't know, but I have somewhere read about this. It's going to be a plant-based wine, including using vegetables, including using a lot of fruits. It's going to be a lot of healthy drinks which is being made using that segment, which also will have an alcohol content as well. So we're going to see whether the alcohol is going to make it really to the plant-based food or the vegan food diet system, or if it is not, if it is yes, it's going to be kind of a ginger ale or kombucha, or it's going to be a plant-based wine, or it's going to be a plant-based drink. That's going to be the future of trending for Gen Z. How are you going to promote it? Obviously, it's going to be social media. I had a very good 2 hours of content consuming one of the in YouTube. Three things stood up for me very, very clearly. It's going to be the Instagram of the future, and YouTube is for the oldies. I wouldn't believe it, because YouTube is going to be the greatest school ever. You can do everything possible. The future, that's going to be YouTube, and also Instagram, for the matter of fact. Probably not the other social media is going to come into picture, like Twitter. Twitter is going to make a lot of changes. I guess you need to pay now to go ahead and put this content as well. So they're going to remit and limit in terms of the right content. I don't know what's happening in the thread sections. We're going to see WhatsApp channels now. So I think every now and then Gen Z is going to be pounded with a lot of ads, real content. They're going to see what's happening across the content area, creating about, especially with the plant-based diet or Gen Z food thoughts, processes, in terms of products is concerned, in terms of new innovations of plant-based and vegan foods is concerned. It's going to be great value add by leveraging social media marketing, and moving on those segments is going to be the great talk of the town for Gen Z as well. But also making sure that somewhere deep down, with all the spectrum of food, see, for me, food is what? Food is culture. What is culture? A certain tradition which is being made and kept ready, which includes a lot of fat, like beef tallow, the pork fat, the render, the barbecue. I don't know how people actually end up doing it. There was a lovely video which I saw. It is a spoof, actually, a video of it. How do you create a barbecue, a fish barbecue, or fish barbecue? And this guy uses a plantain, the Kerala plantain, and does some kind of fermentation and marination, and then does it. Says, you know what, this is a fish barbecue, but it's a not fish barbecue. So that's how they're going to say it. So somewhere deep down, what I guess is that Gen Z is going to compromise a whole lot of factor in the taste section. I don't know how it's going to really value add to it, because I consume a lot of YouTube videos on the vegan based diet food. Somewhere is not fitting right. You cannot make cashew based butter to comprehend the cheese, the dairy aspects of it, because our taste palette, as being a human, we have been evolved on butter, cheese. We're going to see few niche people going to thrive and embrace this plant based. Predominantly India, I'm really enthusiastic to see how Indians, vegetarians, going to see how they're going to turn into the vegan consumerism. Because everywhere you see it's pure veg, it's vegetarian hotel, and so on and so forth. You're going to see another category called vegan. So I think Gen Z has the greatest asset. The first thing, great thing is that they're very health conscious. They're absolutely really relatable in terms of what's going to happen with climate change. So they're going to really impact on the environment. They're going to watch out what kind of food they eat. They're going to really watch out in terms of nutrition and dietitian what they consume. And it's going to be not intermittent fasting, but rather intermittent eating, I would say, because of they would not consume a larger meal. They would always consume in a part of intervals, I would say. So that's a great thing. And another thing, important thing is that the few new lovely products, new innovations, new food processes by leveraging AI, they would create a lot of content on the food aspects. That's going to be the watch out for. And the greatest of all is that it's going to be plant-based diet. So you will see a lot of vertical farming or aquaponic or hydroponic farming, which is going to come to the in your home, probably in your room as well. You never know. So it's going to be the future. I think Gen Z, in the right pace, they would actually end up doing so, and I'm sure they're going to keep that Earth as blue as possible, and do not make it like a Mars. With that in mind, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it, and if really made sense for you guys, what is about Gen Z food? If you have any more value add addition that you want to do and you want to add some points, you can always go ahead and leave your comment section. I'll be really happy to watch out for. And if you made it to this deep end, my dear folks, my dear ladies and gentlemen, my dear Royal Bangaloreans, and also the entire world, I would proclaim and I would request you to go ahead, hit that bell notification, follow, like, and share all the time, and share this content as much as possible. And follow me for more to get this content and get this going. This is Paul signing off. Thanks for listening. Thank you for appreciating and watching my videos. Take care. Cheers and bye bye.